welcome to part 2, guys. Part 1, you ask? Well, I did a reaction to the song Lost Souls from the band here, and it's probably going to be linked down below, or you can watch it after this video. Up to you. Now, let's get into it. Yeah, I'm Matt from Diazable. I do music reviews. Thanks for coming on by. I appreciate it. Today, we're checking out a band called HEX with their latest EP called God Takes the Souls of the Dead and the Damned. If you've never heard about this band, HEX, they are a Singaporean death metal and hardcore band that mixes these two genres together to create some really intense and hard-hitting songs that talk about, inner conflicts and social collapse. And they're a relatively new band. This is their first release that came out in December 2024. They've been a band probably less than a year, so they're out here trying to make a name for themselves. So I'm really happy that I'm able to help and get their name out there by this review and doing reactions. So check them out when you get a chance, and let's talk about this EP. The band has dropped a raw and ominous EP here that leans heavily into more slow burning aggression and crushing heaviness. God Takes the Souls of the Dead and the Damned doesn't really pull any punches here. It's bleak, it's moody, and it's unrelenting in its atmosphere. The opening track here, Lost Souls, sets the tone with some really slow and crawling like riffs and an eerie vocal sample. There's a gritty, almost unpolished energy to the guitars that work really in its favor because it gives it a very nice raw and menacing feel. Then you have the drums that sound very massive here. They're really doing a good job of anchoring everything down with some real sense of weight. The vocals are probably one of the highlights across this EP because they are very clear in the mix and impressively dynamic. I would say that there's some really good range here in the vocals because they're able to do some really impressively harsh guttural screams that have some deep emotional edge to them. All those positive things to the side and everything, there's one issue that is brought up on this song, Lost Souls, that, is a continuing problem for most of this EP, and that is pacing. The midsection feels overly drawn out with a bit too much space between moments of impact. So like it can make the song feel very bland and a little bit boring at times, despite having a very strong, groovy ending. The pacing on here is not the best. So I want to play a clip of Lost Soul so you get a sense of just the drawn outness they do here at times. That long drawn outness before the climax and breakdown of the song kind of kills a lot of the momentum, I feel like. And when the breakdown does come in, it's kind of drawn out too. So it's like doubly drawn out. So it just feels a little bit out of step, and the pacing is not the best. The next track, A World Disowned, kind of picks things up a little bit in terms of the tempo, and it just has a bit of a sharper execution. The double kits from the drums are very tight here and are a nice addition to the overall formula of the band. And the riff work here is really more defined. It's deeper, it's chuggier, and surprisingly has a very sharp feel to it when the two guitars are layered together. And the breakdown just hits harder on this track because the riffs are, playing a little bit more during the breakdown to fill up that sonic space to be like more effective and sounding heavier. Still, this track suffers the same issue as the opening track here. It slows down a little bit too much near the end, and so it feels like a lot of the buildup they've built up kind of just drops the energy. But the midsection and the beginning of the song is really good with just the faster tempo and just the increase in energy. So I want to play a little clip of this song, Disowned World, so you get a sense of just how more fast they're playing there. My brain farted there for a second. Is a little bit more dynamic here, I think. Then you have the closing track here, Sacred Mind, and it feels like the band has finally locked into the that sound they were looking for. The riffs are denser, groovier, and carry like a strong death metal weight to them. Bass adds a very low end presence on this song, which, you know, you don't just hear it, you also feel it as well. And I gotta say, the drums here, they have more of a darker and punchier sound to them. Vocally, I feel like the main vocalist is the most pissed off and aggressive on this track. And the performances, they just, you know, everything on here from vocals, drums, guitars, bass, they just seem more locked in, more focused. Like I said before, I feel like they really found their sound with this particular song. Now with this song, the slow parts are better integrated here. They add more tension than deflate the overall energy like the previous songs did. The build-up near the end of the song surprisingly did give me goosebumps as I was listening to it. And I gotta say, the tension they built up with this particular slow part was really good. Even though the breakdown, it wasn't as explosive as it could have been, but it just feels like overall it's the most complete and thought out moment on the EP slash one of the best songs just because of how well written it feels. So I want to play a clip of this song for you, Sacred Mind. It just really feels like they tapped into something here and was able to find as a little bit of their identity. This latest EP from the band HEX definitely shows that the band has a bit of a identity that they're willing to show here, and they have a lot of promising potential energy here with their music. Their sound really thrives when the grooves are right and the riffs are relentless and the pacing stays sharp. Like if they can keep that pacing really good, like on that last song, there can be a lot of potential with this band. There's still just, you know, the issue of their slower moments here, their pacing that they got to work on and refine. But when HEX gets it right, like on their last song, Sacred Mind, the results are very heavy, haunting, and full of potential. So I think this band HEX could, you know, go somewhere in the future with their music. They just got to work on it a little bit more, I think. So I got to say, it's a good step forward for Singapore underground and metal in general with this band. So I got to give it up to them that this newest EP from HEX, they're working things out. But I would give it an okay and solid 6.5 out of 10. Links down below. Tell me what you think about this band, other Singaporean bands, or other Asian bands that need more recognition or I should check out. Let me know. And like always, see you in the pit.